For more on this, let's speak now to Phuthego Mojapele, an aviation expert who I believe is joining us from the U.S. Dr. Mojapele, the recent incident with Alaska Airlines has really raised concerns about the safety of these 737 MAX 9 airplanes. As an aviation expert, what factors could you contribute to such incidents, and how common are they in the aviation industry?
Good morning, and to your listeners. Look, the problem with the panel that came out of this airplane, it's basically a factory default that was on a specific airplane, which is this one that was operated by Alaska. And I do believe that the configuration of this MAX 9 was requested by Alaska not to fit a door on that specific airplane because of the number of passengers that was going to be the aircraft was going to be carried. So what happens is that when the aircraft manufacturer, in this case we're talking about the Boeing, so they requested to fit only 170 or 190 capacity of passengers. So there's no need for that specific row, which is on the row 24. It's supposed to be an emergency exit. And in that case, that exit was not created. So the reinforcing of that panel, which is the door, was not necessarily reinforced to the standard. Hence, it blew off mid-air. So the FAA, as you have already alluded on your intro, they are investigating together with the NTSB.
So as mentioned in the intro, Alaska Airlines has also returned some of its grounded planes to service after stating that an inspection found no concerning findings. But how rigorous are these safety inspections, and what measures can be taken to indeed ensure the airworthiness of the aircraft, especially after a significant incident like this?
As I said, this is an isolated incident, and I don't think that it should be worrying so much like the 2019 crashes that have happened on this particular aircraft, which is the 8th version of this one. The FAA would ordinarily issue the temporary suspension of these airplanes for the inspection. I mean, all the airlines that are operating this type, the United being the one that has actually more than 111 of this type, have already issued a statement yesterday that they are going to ground them to do the inspection. So the inspection would be in conjunction with the manufacturer, which is the Boeing, together with the FAA, to make sure that the airplane is airworthy and is not going to be creating problems as compared to what we had in 2019 with the MAX series that have taken quite a number of lives and being grounded for almost 2 years. So yes, indeed, they have returned some of the planes on service. You must understand that it costing airline for them not to fly the airplanes, especially when they have spent so much money in acquiring these airplanes, and therefore for them to keep them on the ground for a longer period, when the problem was only on one specific aircraft, then it's not going to help them in terms of making sure that they continue to benefit out of the investment.
From what I take, it doesn't sound like this is an issue of serious concern. But when you listen to some of the reports, the passengers on the affected flight described a harrowing experience, including a child's shirt being sucked off and a significant gap in the fuselage as well. How do incidents like these impact passenger confidence in air travel? And what steps can airlines take themselves to reassure the flying public?
Yeah, it is concerning. I mean, for one sitting, fortunately on this one, there was no one who was sitting on that row 26. And obviously, if the airplane is climbing, at this stage it wasn't that high. It was only on 16,000, and he was able to level down to 10,000 so that the oxygen level can be be achieved from the inside the cabin after the hole was left open. So the confidence on the market or on the passengers don't really pay attention to what kind of airplane they're flying unless you are really invested like ourselves. You are professional in this industry. So people just get into a plane. All what they want to see themselves is to get to their destination. What could be the problem is for Boeing and the airlines that would want to continue supporting Boeing in acquiring these kind of airplanes to continue doing business with them. I think that is going to take a bit of a knock, particularly on the MAX. You would remember that the bulk of the carriers in United States, the likes of Spirit, Frontier, JetBlue, and many others, including the biggest Delta, they are investing their money more on Airbus, not on Boeing, particularly for the narrow body. They are going for Airbus A321neos and 320. So you can see that the industry is moving away from Boeing. And I think this problem of MAX was not necessarily addressed adequately immediately after that ban that happened in 2019. I think they could have done more to prevent such things, because people are now easily remembering what has happened with the MAX before, and you don't want that for your business. I think Boeing should have done more to prevent this, because this is a factory fault. I must say it's not anything that would be blamed on the operator, because this airplane, by the way, I must point it out, it was only brought to service brand new out of the plant 10 weeks ago, literally in the beginning of October. It was November. It was then handed over to Alaska. So you can imagine, this is a new plane. For them to experience this, they cannot blame the operator, because it hasn't really done much. It's still brand new.
Thank you, Phuthego Mojapele, for sharing your insights into the recent incident involving Alaska Airlines and the Boeing 737 MAX 9. As we await further details from the investigation, his expertise has provided valuable perspectives on the complexities of the aviation safety.